It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here. Welcome, everybody. We have the great Shaquille O'Neal and the equally great, in some minds, Kenny the Jet Smith. And it is Raptor basketball tonight as the Toronto Raptors go up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves have been staying very focused in this last stretch. They've won 8 of their last 10, looking really strong. They've got to be pleased. And Shaq, we're coming up to the halfway point of the season. Some teams finally getting into a groove after a somewhat shaky start.
Yeah, every year is different. Sometimes it takes a little longer to figure out. But what's most important is you get hot at the right time.
Oh, that's right. I agree with that. And you have to have a lot of experience on your team. And those guys know how to pace themselves. And you can just kind of relax. Quality veterans won't allow the season to be a sprint. It's a marathon.
Tip-off coming up shortly. It's time to send it to Kevin Harlan for the call.
It's Thursday night, and it's the NBA here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, our game analyst. And from the sideline, David Aldridge. We've got the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Toronto Raptors. And guys, we won't be seeing Kyle Lowry, who is injured.
Yeah, and it's going to be a few weeks until they can get him back, but not as bad as it could have been. In the end, given the way it looked, well, I tell you, when they had to help him off, he'll probably consider that to be good news.
Well, a few weeks could still impact the season in a big way, but yeah, very fortunate he's not out for the year.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the court for Minnesota, Towns and Jang, the lengthy pair inside. Ricky Rubio is out there with Jimmy Butler, and it's Wiggins in at the small forward. Now the Timberwolves with it. Their last game, a win against San Antonio, looking to carry that into this one.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Well, it's no doubt. It's so much easier to run your offense if the defense is not trying to take away any of your options.
Here's Joseph following the basket by Andrew Wiggins. And Joseph kicks to Ibaka. A three-pointer off the mark.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
And when you see Jang, you don't expect the player, Doris, of his size to be a threat from outside, but he has a very soft touch in the mid-range, and it's getting better every year, it seems.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt. Jang can definitely face up and knock shots down, enough certainly to keep other big men honest when he steps out into clear space, and also helps a lot that every time he gets to the free throw line, he's been solid there.
Butler from outside. Toronto grabs the miss. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
Yeah, foul trouble early on, I thought, set the tone in that game, and it just made it difficult for them to get over the hump.
Going to your bench early requires altering your typical substitution patterns, and I thought that led to this uneven performance.
No doubt that is within his range.
I think that's exactly what you're looking for on a break. Finish right at the rim.
Screened by Valanciunas. And Joseph kicks to Ibaka. To the middle, shoots from 8. Valanciunas passes to Ibaka. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. Here's Valanciunas. He's coming off a 13-point game against Cleveland.
As soon as he caught it, the defense was in his grill. Really impressive.
And it's blocked by Ibaka.
An elite rim protector. Ibaka has the highly desired combination of athleticism and timing.
That's picture-perfect timing on that play on the part of both the passer and the cutter.
And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. To the inside, Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
And a long wind-up and strong follow-through on the one-hand jam.
Yeah, he's not going to mess that one up. DeRozan against Butler. Shot on the wing. Ibaka, no luck.
You're always surprised when he misses that kind of look, whether the defense is on him or not.
It's Butler that time on the assist by Wiggins. Butler's got his second bucket tonight.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you problems.
Yeah, and that's exactly why he needs to become the primary focus for that defense right away. Try to cool him off before he gets too hot.
Now here's Carroll. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Here's Valanciunas. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
And the former 5th overall pick back in the 2011 draft, Valanciunas is still only scratching, people feel, the surface of his true potential.
And he's had a few bouts with the injury bug, Kevin, but when he's right, he's a load. Struggles defending on the perimeter, but his rebounding and rim protection have gotten more nasty as he's matured.
First free throw is good. Valanciunas hits them both. And it's hard to watch a Minnesota Timberwolves game and not think of the late, great Flip Saunders. Doris, a great coach, as you know, and an even better person. He meant so much to Minnesota, both for what he did for the team on and off the court.
Now, Kevin, it's rare when someone is universally respected, but Flip Saunders was, and he will always be tied to the Timberwolves. I mean, the first thing you notice about Gorgui Dieng is when he's on the floor, it's his defensive presence. Very long arms to bother shooters, quick movement to stay and track drivers as they come to the rim. Such a force.
And he makes the first. And with Dieng's defensive presence, Doris, he'll always find a way onto the floor. Everything else he does is icing on the cake.
Well, it isn't just protecting the rim that Dieng excels at, right? He also has great timing to deny passes and come up with some steals. He's carved out a nice role for himself in the NBA.
And Dieng drops them both.
Yeah, we know there are big men in the NBA who struggle at the line, but for him, it's a real strength.
And here is Joseph. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Outside DeRozan. Clock at 6. He dishes it to Carroll. The Raptors need to get a shot. Shot from the top of the key. That doesn't go either for DeRozan. Timberwolves leading by 4. Wiggins with it. He had 19 points in the win against San Antonio. And Rubio kicks to Zhang. Another miss by Minnesota.
Ooh, he was open there, guys. I'm sure he's kicking himself that he didn't capitalize.
Here's Carroll. Out to DeRozan. Tries again. Rebound by Butler for Minnesota. They've gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. And it's Wiggins with the jam.
Wow, able to survey over the top of defenses as well as squeeze into tight quarters. Rubio is the consummate playmaker.
Now here's DeRozan. 17 points in his last outing. Inside, Towns with the steal. Here's Butler. Kicks it out to Rubio. Outside Butler. There's the pick. Towns sets the pick for Butler. Zhang with a clean look. They get it back. Here's Towns, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. Serge Ibaka picks one up there.
Well, this is a big physical guy himself, and Towns finds other teams trying to bump him off his game. You know, guys, I think maybe at the start of the season last year, there was a little bit of doubt, but it was pretty apparent pretty quickly that Cat was the rookie of the year. You know, this guy played at a near all-star level from games 1 through 82, never missed a beat. One of the most impressive rookie seasons this league has ever seen.
And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time. And Towns was a runaway with the Rookie of the Year, as many expected, Doris. Not many rookies can average 18 points and 10 rebounds right out of the gate.
Yeah, it's just rare to see a rookie come in at the age Cat did and be so proficient in so many areas. You know, very often Karl Anthony Towns looked like a 10-year vet as a rookie. He had the most statistically impressive rookie year since Blake Griffin's debut back in 2011.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Two shots, gentlemen.
The Raptors shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
2 shots.
Free throw good, Joseph. And as we look forward to the playoffs, they call it the second season. Doris, what do you look for in a playoff team to reach that level of success?
I think what you see over the course of an 82-game regular season schedule is you see teams build their habits. And most of those habits start on the defensive end of the floor. If you look traditionally at NBA champions, you can go back a long time and find that the best teams and the ones that have won championships have been consistently in the top third from all of the defensive metrics. So that's, you know, habits, defense, and then in today's NBA stars, you've got to have, I think, at least 2 and sometimes 3, depending on how big your stars are.
Ibaka, dishes to Joseph. Back to Ibaka. Raptors moving the ball around, and he gets it to go. Valanciunas has got 8.
But the feed inside has got to be perfectly placed. It nets him 2 points. That's nicely done.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
And you love the defense that Ibaka brings to the court every game. Provides big problems for his matchup with his length. Is good to block at least a couple shots every night, it seems.
And with Ibaka and his defensive presence, it's not only the blocks he gets, but the threat of blocks that makes him great.
That's a great point. You see a lot of very talented players start to hear footsteps when they get close to Ibaka. It isn't just that shot blocking that you mentioned. It's his help defense and ability also to defend on the perimeter. Also incredibly strong and very difficult to back down.
Minnesota in the lead. Outside Butler. There's a screen. To the inside. And Dang gets it to go.
Well, the thought was Zhang would never be much of a scorer, but I think he's changing people's minds.
Raptors shooting a mere 25% from the floor in this first quarter. Now here's Joseph. He's covered closely. 16 feet away. That misses off the backboard.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
Upside Butler. Serge Ibaka with the rebound. Ibaka's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's DeRozan. He trains the quick shot.
Now, I'm not sure how much more we can say about this guy's offensive game. He's so gifted. Plays like that are just simply routine at this point.
And Rubio kicks to Butler. Zhang, a screen. Shot off the screen. And Wiggins gets it to go on the assist by Butler. 6 points for Andrew Wiggins. Raptors trail by 4. And Joseph kicks to Carroll. He feeds it to Ibaka. DeRozan on the wing, defended by Butler. Carroll passes to Ibaka. 6 on the shot clock from 12 feet out. Nice jump shot. Good. Ibaka's got his first bucket of the night.
Yeah, with a hand in his face, no less. Inside, Ibaka uses his long arms to convert through the contact.
And it's blocked by Ibaka.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
And DeRozan kicks to Carroll. And stolen by Wiggins. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. His 3-pointers off the mark.
If he were shooting even a little better, they would have a much bigger lead.
DeRozan dishes to Valanciunas. Joseph the pass to Ibaka. Here's Carroll. That misses. Had a chance to tie it there. Minnesota's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And yes, it's good. 8 points for Andrew Wiggins.
Woo, you talk about threading the eye of the needle. He has an uncanny feel for this game.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
I think the one glaring issue with Ricky Rubio has always been his efficiency with his perimeter game. You know, he's never shot over 40% from the floor in his entire career. It's one aspect that if he could become consistent with, his game would soar to a whole new level.
And with Rubio, his strength of the player isn't his scoring, but he does, Doris, need to be able to make shots at a rate where teams can't leave him alone.
Well, Kevin, I think he's improved that perimeter a game enough that on most nights you've got to play him honest. He's even shown improvement in his ability to make a three. He might have already reached his potential as a player if he can't find a way to contribute more with his scoring.
And it's a completely new group for Toronto.
Who's watching here?
Now here's Powell. Muhammad covering. Patterson a screen on Jones. And there's the feed to Pirtle. Rebound Minnesota. This game against Toronto here, it's their first look at the Raptors.
And this is the first of 2 games between the two, East versus West, so they don't see a whole lot of one another.
You know, unfamiliarity, not necessarily a bad thing. Each side gets a fresh look at something an opponent is doing without the pressure of being in your conference.
The Timberwolves have made 2 and missed 2 at the line tonight. Free throw drops for Hill. Doris, so many rookies come into the NBA and talk about the physicality of the league. I also think they talk about the speed of the league and the difference from college to pro. Just how physical and just how fast is it for these kids?
Let me give you 2 visions, okay? You've got 6'8", 200 and maybe 60 pounds, right? LeBron James coming at you full steam, and you're looking at hulking shoulders, defined arms and legs, and you're thinking, I don't think it's in my best interest to take a charge. No way, no how.
Isn't he intimidating when he's on that kind of track and coming down with no governor?
I'll say this, you know, if LeBron James is in transition or back to the basket and you're guarding him, you're going to feel it like it's football Monday.
Oh.
And guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, you know, his reputation. Grinding away 100% effort all the time.
So much tenacity. Really tries to outwork everyone around him.
Minnesota with the ball after the Raptors pick up 2. This is to Aldridge. Good. The assist goes to Hill. And the Timberwolves lead by 7. Toronto's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Powell kicks it to Tucker. Here's Pirtle, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. There's the foul. That's against Minnesota. And Jakob Pirtle enters the NBA after 2 seasons at the University of Utah. Last season, he won the Pac-12 Player of the Year, as well as awards for the best center and low post player in college basketball.
Yeah, and he had an opportunity to play in Europe instead, but he thought the college route would be a nice experience. Certainly the exposure didn't hurt, and he made demonstrable improvement from year 1 to year 2.
Good on the second free throw.
And Pirtle is a massive guy, someone that uses his height exceptionally well to get high-quality looks at the bucket.
Now here's Jones. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. The pass to Bielitsa. Shoots a 3. That shot missing, and Toronto will come the other way. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, I did have a chance to catch up with Tom Thibodeau. He told me he's looking forward to the matchup tonight. It's their first time against this team, so he is curious to see what his guys do on offense. He said it's important that we're aggressive defensively, that we use our length and shot blocking as a deterrent inside. We'll see if they can be successful tonight. Kevin, back to you.
Okay, Dave, thanks. So defense, it looks like, coming first for them today.
That's their identity. That's what they're all about. Their defense is really what sparks it.
Well, you know the effort you put into defense is within your control, and you make the commitment to play with high energy and working together, trusting each other, you can play great D.
And the Raptors, they've come a long way over the past few years in terms of their competitiveness.
And what I like about the Raptors front office, they're unafraid to reshape the team when things aren't quite working. 2 years ago, they were much more about offense than defense. Last year, they were an upper echelon defensive team, even if the offense suffered a little bit.
Good on the second free throw. 1:03 left in the first quarter of the game. To the inside, Tucker, a great 1-2 punch, beautiful pass and nasty jam.
Well, that's what you call an intimidating finish. Tucker's explosive leaping ability on full display, guys.
Jones kicks to Hill, and Hill throws it down.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
Yeah, you know, they may have gotten the feeling he would dish it off, but he had a surprise for them.
And Toronto has possession after the basket by Minnesota. 6 to shoot. Feeds it to Patterson. A three-pointer, no good. Timberwolves leading by 5. Kicks it to Jones. The Timberwolves have gone just 4 of 8 from the line tonight, hoping to move that free throw percentage up a bit. And he knocks down the first one.
And trailing here in the early going, too many careless fouls, and they're giving up a lot of trips to the line.
Good on both. They set the pick. Here's DeRozan. And so the first quarter is in the books. Timberwolves lead by 7. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And Serge Ibaka, becoming known for his shooting ability now, he talked about the confidence his teammates and his coach instilled in him.
He trusts you. Every time he punts the ball, when you don't shoot, he screams you, shoot ball. Then next time what? You will shoot. And if you miss, you say, yeah, good shot. You know, and your coaches in the practice talking to your teammates. Man, when Serge is open, give him the ball. He will make that shot.
Well, if you wonder how much difference a coach can make for a player, there it is, huh?
You heard it in Serge's voice, too. That confidence has already been planted in him. That voice telling him, shoot the ball, is now in his own head. He's going to be just fine.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
Defense paying huge dividends for them through the first.
You know, this is a savvy group. They know when to body up and play physical and when to back off.
Pirtle is out there with P.J. Tucker. Then it's DeRozan. Then there's Norman Powell. That's the group for Toronto to start the second quarter. Out of bounds, Minnesota takes possession. And now let's bring you the list of the top three-point shooting teams over the course of the past 10 games. The Timberwolves, #1. The Raptors, 3rd.
Yeah, both teams on fire right now, shooting lights out from long range, and also great ball movement, I think, enabling them to create those terrific opportunities.
Switch.
Jones, the pass to Aldridge. A timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way.
You know, probably could have set that screen with a little more force, but it got him just enough room to be able to finish. I think one thing we can say for certain, guys, is the Timberwolves have had one of the best rebuilds in recent memory, and obviously it helps getting the top overall pick with Towns. But beyond that, they've made a lot of shrewd decisions.
And you can't award Minnesota anything until they show how far they can go with this core. Doris, the turnaround for this franchise from where they were 5 years ago is huge.
Well, I think, Kevin, it started with the Kevin Love trade, which many media members criticized. They get Wiggins from that deal, and it's worked out perfectly for them. Now it's just a matter of continuing to add the right pieces.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg.
We're talking about a powerful player inside for his position. Muhammad takes it strong.
The dish now to DeRozan. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
And DeMar DeRozan, kind of a throwback, you know, for this day and age when we talk so much about the three-point shot, because he's not a guy that's going to bomb you to death from deep. He's a high flyer who's going to attack the rim and get to the free throw line. And to me, that's extremely important, because the more attempts at the line you get, the more opportunities you have to set your defense. And so he beats people with that polished mid-range game and shoots an incredible number at that line. And those are reasons why this guy continues to improve and become one of the best at that off-guard position.
And looking at how DeRozan gets his points last season, Greg, he made great strides in becoming a more efficient shooter.
Yeah, and for a guy who didn't take a lot of threes, the field goal accuracy wasn't all that great for a number of seasons. But last year, DeRozan was more patient, took better shots. He also became more of a conscientious playmaker, which his teammates, no doubt, appreciated.
Boy, as cool and calm as ever at the free throw line.
Rubio dishes to Wiggins. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. One added pressure, Doris, that Wiggins has that is unique to himself is that he carries most of the weight of Canada's international basketball dreams. He certainly is the best and the brightest for them. He's expected to lead, in fact, the country to a golden age.
For all the players that we have seen come in the league from north of the border, I think Wiggins has the best potential. And I think he's handled the extra pressure with ease. And it might have even helped him mature as a leader for his basketball team.
Towns, he's checked in for Aldridge. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses.
Well, getting to the line at will nowadays. Wiggins wanting to improve his free throw percentage.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Yeah, and an example of why you want to let the game come to you. The opening presented itself, he converted in a big way.
Here's Joseph, following the basket by Andrew Wiggins. And Joseph kicks to Ibaka. Trying to find Valanciunas. Gets it to him. It's good. Valanciunas has got 4 this quarter.
Boy, that's good ball movement down low to set up that bucket.
Rubio the pass to Towns. Towns sets the pick for Butler. And it's Hill. That time the assist by Butler. Hill's got 8 points.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And Joseph kicks to Valanciunas. Towns with the steal. And it's Carroll in the corner. Pulls up on the wing. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Inside. Here's Hill. And again, it's Minnesota.
Clearly, they've been the hotter team here in the first half.
I'm just seeing great ball movement out there. Good shot selection. All the things coaches want from their guys.
And Doris, a lot of people knew that Towns would be good in the NBA, but just how quickly he has established himself as a defensive force is very impressive. You can see how he impacts decisions that opponents are making on the floor around him.
Yeah, I think Towns is always lurking and always aware of what the opposite offense is thinking about, and so he gets a lot of his blocks when the shooter didn't even know Cat was in position to block it. And what's really impressive is how versatile Cat is with who he can match up with and his defense individually in one-on-one situations.
Gorgie Dangs checked in for Minnesota. And so here's Toronto. They trail by 11. Now about 3 minutes gone in this second quarter of basketball. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That one is on Towns. Eldor's always in the hot list of topics as teams each year try to increase their odds at winning a championship. What do you feel are the key ingredients for a championship caliber team?
Talent, first and foremost.
Sure.
I mean, you think about some of the great stars who've won multiple championships. Bill Russell, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. One is talent. That's the first part. Coaching. I think coaching in the NBA is underrated. And then increasingly depth because, of course, over the years, the season has gotten longer. The playoffs have gotten longer. It takes more players to win in the NBA than it probably used to.
Is the feel in the locker room overrated? Is the cohesion, the culture, is that important on that list?
You know, it's a terrific question. I do think you can win without chemistry. I certainly think for us, you can feel it when a team is connected and when they enjoy playing with one another.
Like Golden State.
No question about it.
Now, here's Rubio. An 11-point game for him in the win against San Antonio.
And his court vision was extraordinary, too. Let's not forget that. He was flawless passing the ball.
Here's Joseph after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Ibaka with the screen on Rubio. Joseph and the rejection by Towns.
Well, his value to this team on both ends. Not many guys can defend the perimeter and the rim the way Towns can.
Well, the competition committee, Doris, is always looking at new ideas, looking at the NBA from so many different angles, so many different levels. Do you have a take on switching to the top 16 seeding in the playoffs, for instance? I know that's been a topic of late.
You know, one of my favorite things about the NBA is they are always on the cutting edge of self-evaluation. And if they identify a weakness, then they're going to be proactive and make a change. The most fair way to seed in the playoffs is to pick the 8 best teams from the 2 respective conferences. Divisions clearly perhaps had a place in the past. They no longer do. Let's seed everybody 1 to 8. It's the fairest, easiest way to get the best teams competing in the fairest fashion. So I 100% agree to seeding 1 through 8 regardless of division.
Here's Dang after Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. Just 5 on the clock. 3-pointer, Butler, nice D from DeRozan.
And he has slipped into a funk. You can see the confidence is shaking.
Confidence, he's lacking poise, he's forcing things that aren't there, he's just taking shots out of rhythm.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
And Valanciunas kicks to DeRozan, and stolen by Butler.
Moving the ball is certainly important, but forcing passes like that is simply bad basketball. This has been one of those nights where he's really struggled. And the team hasn't, but he has.
Here's Joseph, and misses it off the right side of the rim. Timberwolves leading by 9. Down low, the putback. DeRozan with the rebound. The Raptors have gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. Patterson dishes to DeRozan. Valanciunas passes to Joseph. 6 on the shot clock. It's tipped. Now here's Rubio. He's covered by Joseph. And Rubio kicks to Butler. To the paint. It's stolen by Carroll. DeRozan on the wing. He's got 6, and the shot is good.
And that's definitely a shot that he has in his arsenal.
The Timberwolves have gone 6 of 10 from the floor here in the second quarter. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Well, guys, we know Jimmy Butler made a big bet on himself back in 2014. He turned down the Bulls' 4-year, $44 million contract extension offer. It paid off. After a breakthrough season, he signed a new contract, a max deal for 5 years and $95 million. He said of his decision, "I was nervous, I'm not going to lie to you, but everything I put myself through, I knew what I was capable of."
He's come a long way, David. Thank you. Here's Joseph, following the basket by Andrew Wiggins. Now here's Patterson. He's coming off a 16-point game against Cleveland.
And it wasn't only his scoring. The intensity on defense. He nabbed 3 steals that night.
No good from Valanciunas.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Stolen by Joseph. Stolen by Rubio. But he recovers it. Zhang the pass to Rubio. Zhang a screen. Wiggins outside. Outside Butler, moves back up, and it's laid in by Zhang. Zhang's got 6. Well, around the league, former coach of the year Tom Thibodeau is known as one of the best minds in the game when it comes to defense. He helped get that Boston defense up to snuff when it won the 2008 title and led the way for the Bulls in their success.
Well, Kevin, look no further than the Celtics teams and Bulls teams under his tenure. They were the best defenses in the game. And Coach Thibodeau holds everyone responsible for their part in the defense. He also knows that rebounding is crucial to what you're trying to do on that end.
The Raptors making a switch here. Powell's checked in. Bielitsa, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Here's Joseph. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Pass to Powell. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And for so many players, the game of basketball is really a lifeline, whether to afford college or even beyond. And Doris, have you seen that aspect of the sport shape an individual's future?
No, I don't think there's any question. You can look up and down the NBA and every roster and know for a fact that the game of basketball has shaped the lives of these young men from the time they were in their earliest stages. I mean, for some, the game has been a lifesaver, no question about it.
That free throw missing.
Well, of course, 2 Canadian teams were born to the NBA in '95, but back in 2001, the Vancouver Grizzlies became the Memphis Grizzlies, leaving the Toronto Raptors as the sole Canadian survivor.
And the second free throw, good. What's interesting about the Raptors and Grizzlies when they first entered the league, the Grizzlies were actually the team that seemed to be on the track for big things, but lately the tables have really turned.
Yeah, and what's surprising to me is that as we've tried to appeal to more people in more countries with our game, we still have only one franchise located outside of the U.S., and that's the Raptors. The NBA is seeing a rejuvenation in revenues, but if we want that growth to maximize, we may need to try and broaden our international horizon.
Now, here's Rubio. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. And the rejection by Valanciunas. Fast break, Toronto. Powell with it. Guarded now by Rubio. Pass to Valanciunas. And the layup falls. Valanciunas has got 14 points.
Give credit where credit is due right there. A terrific assist.
Pass to Dang. Wiggins outside. Rubio dishes to Jang. Shot clock at 6. He kicks to Towns. It's deflected, and he gets it back. Takes the 3. Jang, no luck.
What a great opportunity. Nice open look. You'll take those anytime you can get an uncontested shot.
Powell kicks to Carroll. And that one is off. Good D by Rubio.
Oof, this has been brutal. I mean, he still hasn't made a single shot. No wonder they're struggling.
Right wing. And the rejection by Towns. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Towns. Some changes for Minnesota. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Muhammad comes in for Andrew Wiggins. And Tyus Jones subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Here's Valanciunas. Lets it fly from 18. And with that shot, the Timberwolves lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Patterson. Now Jones. Jang, a screen. Jones kicks to Bielitsa. Down low. Muhammad, terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
Nice touch there near the hoop.
And for the Raptors, they're shooting just 39% in the second quarter. Screen by Valanciunas. Powell, the pass to Valanciunas. Toronto working the ball around now. The shot by Carroll, no good.
At some point, he has to stop shooting. How is this helping his team?
And there's a whistle that goes on Corey Joseph. That's his first foul. And the Timberwolves making a change here. Hill's checked in. And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
No, and it looked like he got a bit ahead of himself and just couldn't hold back.
Counted good.
Even though there's a height disadvantage, he's still able to go up and over his man.
He negated size difference through sheer determination. He wasn't going to let a few extra inches bother him.
And that one drops. Hill's got 12 points in the game.
Well, there's no question about why they're up. His accuracy has been phenomenal tonight.
Now here's Powell. Muhammad covering. Defended by Jones. Excellent D that time from Jones.
It seemed like he changed his mind halfway through the layup, tried to go to something else, and flat out choked it.
Aldrich dishes to Muhammad. There's the pick. Fires high post. Second shot opportunity, and that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession.
Wonderful anticipation from Pirtle on that one, positioning himself perfectly to send that one back.
Serge Ibaka has checked in for the Raptors. .109 left to play here in the half. In the corner, it's Aldrich. And Bielitsa kicks to Muhammad. Hill sets the screen for Jones. Off the screen. That's tipped. They retain possession. Powell kicks it to Tucker. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
And wait to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket, guys, still shaking. 43 seconds left in the first half of the game. Now here's Muhammad, guarded by Powell. Offensive rebound. Aldridge, no good. Raptors trail by 6. And Tucker kicks to Ibaka. And a miss there on the triple. Minnesota's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Here's Pirtle, and the dunk by Pirtle.
And really, Pirtle is a very forceful player. When he's near the rim, the D better watch out for the slam.
Here's Jones. 8 points his last outing. And here is Muhammad. And no good trying to get that one. And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. The Timberwolves on top, up by 4. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Here with Andrew Wiggins. Andrew, for you personally, a great first half. You really got to the rim a lot of times. What are you seeing out there?
Just a mindset to attack the rim early, try to mark my presence.
Certainly saw you in the first half. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And an exhilarating first half, to be sure. Welcome back. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be breaking down all the action for you. Andrew Wiggins led the way in the first half. He had 13 points, 2 steals, and 3 rebounds. And Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
You can see where the priorities are. Rebounding, and then more rebounding. They made a concerted effort to get the glass clean.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Toronto.
What impressed me the most was the effort they put into the offensive glass. Second chance points really added up for them. Fighting through box out, battling for position, they owned the offensive boards.
And that about wraps it up, as the second half is just moments away. Now down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew, and we will see you after the game, won't we?
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
The evening commute has plenty of people on the move here tonight in Toronto, where we welcome you back to On 2K. Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. Jonas Valanciunas having a dominant impact in this game.
Yeah, how about that first half? He's already scored more points than he averages on the season.
Well, the defense dared him to shoot, and once he gained a little bit of confidence, he just kept going.
Timberwolves leading by 4, and so in the game for the Timberwolves, the 2 number 1 picks, Wiggins and Towns, are the forward positions. Jimmy Butler is out there with Ricky Rubio, and it's Jang in at center, locking down the middle. Now here's Towns, 6 to shoot. Trying his luck deep. Timberwolves keep it alive. Rubio outside. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession.
I'd say one thing you've got to love about Ricky Rubio is that air of excitement he brings to the floor. You simply never know when he's going to fire off an amazing pass that splits defenders. It's must-see TV when this guy is out in front of the break.
And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession.
You know, that's hard to explain that play. I mean, I guess he thought he had more room than he did.
Minnesota with the ball. They've led by as many as 11 points. And at home for the next game, it'll be Detroit pulling into town. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. Towns wide open. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got 5 assists in the game. Raptors trail by 6. Screen by Valanciunas. And it's Carroll in the corner. And the rejection by Jang.
Oh, the 7'3" wingspan erases that shot. Nice by Gorgui Dieng.
Nice move and finish. I think the halftime break really gave him a second win.
I think defensively, they've got to get their heads in the game. Judging by that play, they've come out of the locker room a little lethargic.
Here's Joseph after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Butler from outside. And Valanciunas pulls it down. Valanciunas has got his 6th rebound on the night. Outside DeRozan. Valanciunas passes to Joseph. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. And a look now at the breakdown between 3-point and 2-point shots attempted here tonight for Toronto.
And they've got really good balance here. I mean, the 3-ball hadn't been the strongest weapon today for them, but I'd say keep the dose just about the same. Don't change the recipe. When you've got that open shot, you got to take it.
And that one misses. He hits the second from the line. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Timberwolves leading by 7. To the middle. And finished off by Jang.
Wow, big time size, speed, power combination from Gorgui Dieng. Wow.
Screened by Ibaka. And DeRozan kicks to Ibaka. And it's Joseph in the corner. Clock at 6. Ibaka goes in. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Clearly a foul.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
At the line for 2.
Free throw good. Serge Ibaka.
I think something that is weighing on the minds of the Minnesota fans, May 31st, 2004. How about that's the date of the last time the Wolves played an NBA playoff game? Longest drought in the league, guys.
And both free throws good for Serge Ibaka. And that is something you don't want to be the first in the NBA most years without a postseason trip, Doris. Wolves are doing everything they can to get back there.
I think, Kevin, you typically see teams maybe go through a 5 or 6 year rebuild or a franchise slump. But to be at 12 years and counting, that's a bit of bad luck for the Wolves and their fans. For the sake of the state of Minnesota, I hope the Wolves can get that monkey off their back.
And that one falls for Carroll. Timberwolves leading by 4. Rubio dishes to Wiggins. With the floater, and it's Rubio. That time on the assist by Wiggins. Wiggins has got 3 assists tonight. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
You can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
DeRozan passes to Valanciunas. He dishes it to Carroll. His 3-pointers off the mark.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
And Rubio kicks to Wiggins. Again, Wiggins missing. Raptors trail by 6. It's DeRozan with the drive. It's not going to go for him. Good D by Rubio.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Butler from outside. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Butler. All we have a moment, let's now take a look at the top shot blockers in the NBA. Fifth, Jonas Valanciunas.
There aren't going to be many nights when you don't see him affect the game with his shot blocking ability.
The Raptors have gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room with the break. The feed now to Carroll. Back to Joseph. Toronto working the ball around now. Here's DeRozan. DeRozan can't get that one to fall.
Ooh, and this is turning into a slow start here in the second half. Seems like they left that offense in the locker room.
And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. So it'll be Jimmy Butler shooting. That one on DeRozan. For Minnesota, they have gone 8 of 13 from the free throw line.
And really, they haven't been able to differentiate themselves from the free throw line on the season at about 76%.
Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Toronto. Free throw, good Butler. You know, Greg, when Jimmy Butler is out there, you have to be aware of just how explosive a player he can be. When he turns it on and gets in that groove and feels the rhythm, he can completely take over a game with his scoring.
And Kevin, I'm sure you remember that 53-point outburst he had last season. Butler has games where he has everything that kind of just falls into place. And he gets his scores in so many ways, but usually when he goes off, it's because he's getting to the free throw line.
Here is Rubio after Toronto got the 3-point. Outside Butler. Rubio dishes to Wiggins. Makes a big high bounce and goes in. Wiggins has got 15.
You look at the numbers tonight. When Wiggins asserts himself, he's painful to defend.
And Joseph kicks to Patterson. He feeds it to DeRozan. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Well, one of the biggest names in free agency GA this past offseason was DeMar DeRozan. Many in Toronto feared he would leave the team, but he re-upped with the Raptors on a huge deal.
Yeah, and DeRozan spoke about loyalty to the franchise when he announced he wanted to return to Toronto. It's the only team he's ever played for his entire career, and easy to be loyal when you are getting almost $30 million a year. So it's a great contract for DeRozan.
And he's good on the second. Timberwolves leading by 7. Rubio with it. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Zhang with a screen on DeRozan. On the wing, Wiggins takes the 3. Tries to save it, but they recover it.
Yeah, just nice hustle there. That work gets them the extra possession.
Ibaka against Rubio. Towns the screen. Moves back up. Again, Wiggins missing.
He's obviously still trying to find the range. No success this quarter. You wonder what it would take to get him to pass the ball.
The Timberwolves have gone 6 of 14 since halftime. A little cold from the field. Rubio the pass to Towns. Rebound by the Raptors. Ibaka's got 11 rebounds in the game. Butler against DeRozan. And DeRozan throws it down.
Look at the handles. Gets through the D and then powers it home.
Such a pretty move inside. Clark, how do you stop that? Now, here's Rubio. Here's Wiggins. And that one comes up a bit short.
Not a quarter to remember as far as his offense is concerned.
No, it feels like he's forcing things. Getting a little frustrated by not letting the game come to him.
Pull up Jay. And Butler gets it to go.
Timeout.
Butler's got 9.
That's a shot he shouldn't be afraid to take more often.
And the Raptors call time here.
And I think taking a time here to talk things over is a smart idea.
You know, you always want everyone on the same page, executing down to the smallest detail.
Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. Taking a look at Golden State. Things going their way so far in this season. Right now they lead the pack up front in the first spot with the best record. And of course Minnesota right on their heels and with their sights set on gaining ground.
Well, right now for the Timberwolves, they have hit the ground running this year. The work they did in the offseason has paid huge dividends right away.
Oh, no doubt. And now it becomes a question of how long can they ride this wave of early season momentum. It's not going to be an easy task to maintain this level of play into the heart of the schedule.
Minnesota with the ball after the Raptors pick up 2. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. One thing you can't help but notice, Doris, with Muhammad is just how strong he is. Listed at 6'6", which is a good height for his position. But he can bully everyone else on the wings with his strength.
You know, I think, Kevin, he welcomes the contact. That's perhaps more important than anything. Muhammad is very good at absorbing a hit underneath and continuing on to get a chance at a three-point play. And he looks very much at home under the hoop, even when he has to try to outmuscle opposing big men.
And that one falls for Muhammad.
You know, there are a lot of questions about whether Shabazz Muhammad, when he came into the NBA, would ever find his spot. I mean, he's mostly a scorer in college, but you weren't sure how it would translate to the NBA. Seems to be best in being a scoring threat off the bench right now.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. And for Muhammad, he has found his role in acting as the offensive spark, Doris, when his team needs him. And when you watch him play that role, he's suited to that kind of style.
Yeah, and I think knowing what your role is on a team can help a lot for a young developing player. If you have one thing to focus on and know what is expected out of you, it helps you feel a lot more comfortable. And Muhammad has definitely seen a boost to his game since being deployed as a 6th man.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard. And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
And the Raptors with the ball. It's a 5-point game. Now here's Powell. Muhammad covering. And here we go. Muhammad heading to the hoop. Here's Hill. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Dishes to Patterson. And Aldridge sends it back. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. Here's Powell. Here's Patterson. And can't hit the shot. But they're saying he got hacked, so he'll head to the free throw line. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And on the season, he's just a shade under 80 from the line. I'll bet he'd like to get that up over that mark.
That free throw good from Patterson. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Minnesota leading by 3. Now here's Jones.
Switch.
There's the triple. They get the rebound. Aldridge dishes to Jones. A second chance effort. That one falls. Bielitz has got 4 points in the quarter. Toronto's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Powell. And it's sent back by Hill. Jones for 3. Again, the miss by Jones. Toronto shooting 39% from the floor. Not their best. No good from outside. And for the Timberwolves, they're shooting 41% from the floor so far in the third. Hill. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Timberwolves lead by 7.
Oh, great timing. He is one tough customer on that offensive glass.
You know, it's like he has a sixth sense of where that rebound is going. A floater. Here's Tucker. Rebound Hill.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
You love the confidence, but that's a situation where they really needed a better look.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Now here's Powell. 5 points in the game. Outside, Jones. And the pass to Muhammad. Powell with the steal. And Pirtle has it in the corner. Toronto working the ball around now. Just 5 on the clock. And again, no good by Toronto. Timberwolves leading by 9. Hill sets the screen for Muhammad. Picked him clean. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Patterson. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And a look here at the shot chart.
And when you come into a game with the mindset of going right at the rim and not settling for outside shots, this is what your shot chart will look like. Every chance they've had to either attack the paint or play back to the basket, they've taken it, and it's been a complete success thus far.
And the first one at the line is good. And Patterson drops them both. 1:25 left in the third. Now Jones. They set the pick. Here's Aldridge. To the inside. Bielitsa. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Bielitsa's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. 59 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Out to the wing. Inside. Intercepted. Here's Jones. Powell pulls it in. Powell's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Dives for it. It's stolen. Muhammad with it. Powell's there. Aldridge. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Jonas Valanciunas, he's checked in for Patrick Patterson. Free throw, no good by Aldridge.
And the 7-footer, Jakob Poeltl, a smooth, fluid athlete for his size. And he's got tremendous bloodlines, guys. Both of his parents were members of the Austrian national volleyball teams.
Shooting for Toronto, number 23. 2 shots.
No good on the free throw. Good on the 2nd free throw. Here's Jones. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Feeds it to Aldridge. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. It's on Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah, the defender all over. And they didn't shoot it very well from the line in the first half, but they've gotten much better since halftime, and it's helped them to secure the lead.
So he gets them both.
And good job bringing that free throw percentage up here in the second half, doing a great job at the line.
Just 3 on the clock. That one misses. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Timberwolves lead by 12. We'll be back shortly live from the Air Canada Centre in downtown Toronto. Now let's hear what Coach Tom Thibodeau was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Defensively, make sure we're all getting rebounded. No second shot. In transition, everyone talking. No open threes in transition.
And Tom Thibodeau wanting his team to pay particular attention to certain areas of their defense.
Yeah, taking care of the defensive boards, allowing no easy baskets on the fast break. These are key elements in terms of you having success.
And we're getting underway here in the 4th quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. Ibaka is out there with P.J. Tucker. Then it's DeRozan. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas. That's the 5 out there for the Raptors. Hill gets the rebound.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Back to DeRozan. And off the front iron, and in it goes. DeRozan's got the 4th quarter started here with a bucket for Toronto. And here's Jones. Kicks to Aldridge. To the paint. Plenty of space. Hill, no good. Raptors trail by 10. There's the dish to Ibaka.
And back in 08, Ibaka became the first player ever from the Republic of Congo to be drafted in the NBA.
Shooting for Toronto, Serge Ibaka. 2 shots.
Free throw good, Ibaka. And the Raptors making a change here. Joseph's checked in. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Jang, he's checked in for Aldridge. Karl Anthony Towns comes in for Hill. Wiggins is checked in for Muhammad. And Ricky Rubio is subbed in for Jones. And both free throws good for Serge Ibaka. Timberwolves leading by 8. And Rubio kicks to Butler. Towns sets the pick for Butler. Here's Rubio, and it's out of bounds. The Raptors will take it the other way.
Just keep things simple. No reason to rush things there.
Jamari Carroll's checked in for Toronto. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. And Joseph kicks to DeRozan. Valanciunas inside. He's against Jang. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Shooting for Toronto, Jonas Valanciunas. At the line for 2.
That free throw, no good. And he's good on the second. Minnesota leading by 7. We've gone about a minute and a half into the 4th quarter. Rubio, the pass to Dang. To the middle. Here's Wiggins. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Outside DeRozan. Pass to Joseph. Ibaka with the screen on Rubio. Towns with the steal. Butler kicks to Wiggins. He can't get that one, and Toronto will come the other way. At the elbow, it's Ibaka. Pass to Joseph. He kicks to DeRozan. Ibaka sets the pick for DeRozan. 4 on the clock. Lets it go from deep. Out that one in, and the Timberwolves lead is cut down now to just 6 points with that basket from Serge Ibaka. And Rubio kicks to Zhang. Pass to Wiggins. And there it is for him. Wiggins has got 19 points.
Well, a case where he dominates in close, but Wiggins so versatile on offense.
Now here's Joseph, covered by Rubio. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
At the line for your Raptors, Corey Joseph. At the line for 2. Shooting 2, gentlemen.
Free throw good, Joseph. He's perfect from the line this time. And we're about 3 minutes into the 4th quarter. Rubio with it. He dishes it to Zhang. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. And the Timberwolves lead by 8.
Listen, this guy's shooting it well enough these days, is Gorgie Zhang. You might want to run him off his spot and make him put it on the deck.
Joseph dishes to Carroll. Back to Joseph. Off the pick. And stolen by Zhang. And there's a whistle that goes on Corey Joseph. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Minnesota leading by 8. Down low, here's Dang.
Blessed with awesome physical tools. Ibaka can alter shots anywhere on the floor.
DeRozan passes to Ibaka. Hits it from 3-point range. Ibaka's got 10 points here in the 2nd half.
Add another triple to their 2nd half total.
I mean, since the break, they've been unconscious from distance.
Wiggins, right side. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Valanciunas has got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. And Joseph kicks to Ibaka. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
So difficult to defend Ibaka inside the length, the improved strength, and he's one of those bigs who doesn't mind going to the line.
At the line for 2.
The first one falls. And both free throws good for Serge Ibaka.
And his work at the free throw line has been terrific tonight, making the most of his chances.
Rubio dishes to Butler. Back to Rubio. Tries a 3. Another miss by Minnesota. And it's the Raptors ball. They're on a 15-6 run. Here's Carroll. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. That one is off. Good on the second free throw.
Yeah, being down 2 points instead of 1 thanks to the free throw miss makes getting a stop here absolutely critical.
Now here's Rubio. He's guarded closely. Outside Butler, trying to find Towns. Gets it to him. Another miss by Minnesota.
It wasn't wide open, but that's a look he's got to create, guys. He's got to finish that. His teammates count on him.
And the dunk by DeRozan.
And the road back into this game wasn't a short one, but they've managed to make it all the way back and tie this thing up.
And you love the heart, the fire they've shown here. Let's see if they can keep up this level of tenacity.
Now here's Butler, and Rubio kicks to Towns. Here's Wiggins. They can't stop the run with that one.
Just getting a hand in the face makes all the difference. That was the case there.
And DeRozan throws it down.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there. Sure. Towns, the screen. Butler kicks to Towns. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Butler's got assist number 7 for him tonight.
How about the skill level of Anthony Towns? I'll tell you what, the touch inside, it's a joke how good he is.
Now here's Joseph. Carroll with a screen for Joseph. Outside DeRozan. Screen by Ibaka. 5 to shoot. And DeRozan kicks to Carroll. And again, Toronto with the triple.
Man, this fourth quarter has been tremendous. They have been exceptional from deep.
I mean, the work on the perimeter has been about execution and dead-eye shooting.
Here's Butler. And that one hits back iron.
Might have overthought that. Not sure how he missed that one, guys.
Carroll passes to Valanciunas from the arc. Here's Joseph. Makes it off the glass. Joseph's got 4 this quarter.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
And Rubio kicks to Towns. Fades. That one doesn't drop. Ibaka with some nice D.
And this is the thing. They're trying to battle back, but his erratic shooting is really hurting.
Joseph dishes to DeRozan. And Ibaka slams it in.
Yeah, just the length and explosiveness. Ibaka is a true force at the rim.
Rubio, the pass to Butler. To the middle. Here's Towns. And the rejection by Ibaka. And DeRozan kicks to Ibaka. Minnesota with the rebound. It's stolen by Ibaka. And Ricky Rubio gets the whistle that time.
Shooting for Toronto, Corey Joseph. At the line for 2. Shoot 2, gentlemen.
That free throw, no good. And he sinks the second. Timberwolves trail by 8. The feed to Jang. That's tipped. It's stolen by Valanciunas. And Joseph kicks to DeRozan. Valanciunas dishes to Ibaka. Toronto working the ball around now. And it's blocked. They get it back. Valanciunas passes to DeRozan. Just 4 to shoot. And he can't extend the lead to double digits.
He really made that shot harder than it needed to be, and coach is not happy with that choice.
Jang, no luck. Raptors leading by 8. This is to DeRozan. Carroll, no one around him. Good on the triple. Carroll's got 13 points here in the second half alone.
Really in a good position thanks to the accuracy from beyond.
Minnesota calls timeout.
Start it.
And they're picking up a lot of fouls already in the penalty. Not a good sign. They need to focus on moving their feet and maintaining a good defensive position.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I listened to Tom Thibodeau talking to his team during the break. He does not think they're giving him everything. He said they've been faster to us all night. Loose balls, rebounds, everything. We got to wake up. It's slipping away, and we're letting it happen. We got to seize this game. We'll see if he lit a fire under him, guys.
Thank you, David. Here's Joseph. No good on the three.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Here's Towns. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins.
Wow, has he flipped a switch at halftime. Much more effective here in the second half.
Joseph dishes to DeRozan. Ibaka with the screen on Butler. Joseph, terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Joseph's got 7 now in this quarter.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
And you know he's not going to back down anytime soon. It doesn't matter if they're trailing or holding a lead like they are right now. He's going to keep pouring it on.
No question, he got bumped
shots,
on that shot.
2.
The free throw drops for Towns.
You know, funny thing is, in his only season at the University of Kentucky, he didn't start. And yet Karl Anthony Towns becomes the #1 pick in the draft. So unusual.
And Towns drops them both.
Yeah, and the work they've done at the line has been impressive here in the second half.
Screened by Valanciunas. To the left side wing. Carroll with the three. Hits the three-point bomb. And the Raptors lead by 12.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give him from behind the arc.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on DeMar DeRozan. That's foul number 2 for him. That's a 2 from Butler, and some very quick points for him on that possession. Now, here's DeRozan. Screened by Ibaka. And it's Carroll in the corner. He feeds it to Ibaka. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Joseph. That's short off the rim. Timberwolves trail by 10. Now Rubio. And the pass to Butler. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. And he does get the second one, and that brings them within single digits.
Yeah, he cuts the deficit a little bit, but not as much as he could have. One miss can make a big difference.
Screened by Ibaka. Here's Joseph. The offensive rebound. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
That's just laziness on the part of the defense, not hustling to get to the boards.
Timberwolves trail by 12. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. The rebound by Ibaka. Toronto shooting it brilliantly here late. 60% from the field. And Joseph kicks to Carroll. Screen by Ibaka. Lobs it up for Ibaka. And that goes out of bounds. Last touch by Carroll.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
The Timberwolves shooting has been a little ragged, just 38% from the field. Here's Butler. And Rubio kicks to Wiggins. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Wiggins has got 6 here in this quarter.
The aggressive finish inside. Andrew Wiggins beats some very good defense.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for the Raptors.
The blocking really turned things into their favor this time.
Great timing, anticipation. They got the blocks, and that definitely changed the momentum of this game.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off. I mean, when you look at the stats, you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Serge Ibaka.
Listen, I enjoyed watching this guy work down low. Over and over again, they were able to end up with a big-time rebound because he was battling and scrapping down low.
Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. That one misses.
And that should be enough to get the job done, even though he didn't get all of it.
Muhammad, no luck. And here's Carroll. We've got 28 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. There's the pick. Off the pick. In the corner, Powell with it. And the Raptors miss again.
Well, the comeback hopes are out the window now. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, their last chance is come and gone.
And so it's Toronto winning this one. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step in becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really seem to revel in that opportunity, and this is what they came out to do.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now it's time to head back to the studio with Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you so much, Kevin. And with this one in the books, we're ready to present our Jordan player of the game, Serge Ibaka. When they needed a leader to get them back in the game in the final quarter, he was the one they were all following, and he knew exactly the route back and the road to victory. Kenny, what did you think?
In terms of individual rebounding, he had a game that will be remembered for a long, long time. Whether it's chasing down long rebounds or grabbing one in traffic or one-handed rebounds, he was going after them and corralling all of them.
With 2 straight losses under their belt, they needed somebody had to step up in the game, and he was the man to do it. He gave them exactly the lift they needed.
And that is a wrap, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. See you again soon.